Translating the Piel. Well, how do you translate the Piel? Let's first take a brief look again at what we've covered. The cal is an active form of the verb. Okay, so the subject is doing the action. And we looked at the nifal. Nifal is usually the passive of the cal. So if you have a verb in the cal that's active, then its passive form will be expressed in the nifal. Now the Piel, what we're dealing with here, is also active like the cal, and it has another binyan called the pual that we'll deal with in the next chapter, and it will be the passive of the Piel, just like the nifal is the passive of the cal. Now the point I want to make here is that both the cal and the Piel are active forms of a verb. Now if a verb exists in both the cal and the Piel, then you'll tend to see a difference usually. There'll be some meaning difference, which is what we'll go into. If there is no cal, if a verb only exists in the Piel, or perhaps other things, but it does not exist in the cal, then the Piel will usually take the meaning that you would expect for the cal. So just a regular active meaning from the cal. Okay, but if both exist, then you usually see a difference. And the categories that we're going to look at are these. The first is something called the factative. There's an odd sort of a word. What it means is that if you have a verb in the cal that is stative, like he was old, or intransitive, a verb that doesn't take an object, then in the Piel it can be factative, which means it causes that state. It causes the state that you would find in the cal. Now if that's a bit confusing, I'll deal with this in a separate module and we'll look at some examples. Denominative, this simply means that it comes from a noun. So there are some verbs that are related to nouns. You can see the word noun in there, or nominative. So some Piels come from nouns, they're related to nouns. Pluralizing or intensive. Intensive is often the way people first think of a Piel. It's an intense form. The meaning is intensified from the cal, or possibly pluralized. We'll talk about examples of that as well. And declarative is to declare something to be. So sometimes the Piel is used to declare something. And we'll see examples of those as well. So we'll look at all these four in separate modules.